Hi everyone, my name is Sydney Raybold. I am a senior exercise science major at Seton Hill University. I was also a part of the women's basketball team my 4 years at Seton Hill. I was a program director on the Seton Hill programming board, so we would go around campus planning fun events for the students and faculty to enjoy. And I was secretary of the Exercise Science Club, so I tried to get involved in as much as I could around campus. The purpose of this video, I'm going to be discussing a couple different topics. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and my 4 years at Seton Hill. I'm going to explain a little bit about the exercise science major and what to expect. I'm going to try to give some advice for incoming freshmen and what I learned through my 4 years. And then I'm also going to talk about grad school preparation. So for me, coming into college, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know what I wanted to study, but I was lucky enough to continue my athletic career playing basketball for the 4 years. So I knew I was going to do that, but when it came to picking a major, I had no idea. So I came in undecided. I tried a ton of different classes. I tried business classes, psychology classes, accounting classes, criminal justice classes. I just tried to do as many things as I could and try to find something that stuck out to me. Eventually I realized that I was a multiple sport athlete in high school. I was very familiar with the body and exercise, and I like doing exercise and playing sports, so I was like, why not try something related to that? I eventually enrolled in a couple exercise science classes and I automatically loved it. I was already familiar with the information I was learning, and I enjoyed continue learning about the body and how it responds to exercise, so it was the perfect choice for me. Also with exercise science, there's a bunch of different fields you can get into. A lot of my classmates are in different areas of exercise science: occupational therapy, physical therapy, cardiac rehab, fitness trainers and instructors, so you can kind of go any way you want. Personally, I chose occupational therapy, so this is helping ill, injured, or disabled individuals with activities of daily living. So this could be self-feeding, self-bathing, brushing your teeth, doing laundry, washing dishes, kind of any activity that anybody would do every day. Now I'm going to try my best to throw out some advice to incoming freshmen, talk about what I experienced in the transition from high school to college and what I've learned through my 4 years. So the first thing I do want to talk about is the transition. So in high school, you used to going to this school building for 8 hours a day, maybe having 7 classes in a row, and then going to a sports practice or any after-school activities, going home, relaxing, doing homework, anything like that. So college is different. You're probably going to have 2 to 4 classes each day, depending on how you schedule, and this sounds awesome, and it is awesome. But you just have to remember that these are college level classes. There's going to be a lot of work assigned with each class, and you're going to have to be able to manage your time correctly to make sure you're getting everything done for every class. There are going to be time for naps, so this is going to be very helpful, but do make sure you stay on top of things and you're managing your time correctly so you can get everything done. Also remember that each class builds off of one another. So as you work up your major, starting with the entry classes and moving up and up to the harder classes, everything's going to build on one another. So make sure you're actually knowing and grasping the information that you learn in each class so you can use it for the future classes. Another thing that I would suggest is for the incoming freshmen to go to as many of the planned events that they have for you guys during orientation week and weekend, and the couple weeks after that where they have different events planned here and there. I would try to attend as many of those as possible. I know some of them might not sound the most fun, but try to go to as many as you can. This is going to be a great way to meet the people that you're going to be spending the next 4 years with. Seton Hill is a pretty small school, so you're going to pretty much know everybody in your class, so it's going to be a great opportunity to meet them early. You might not stay close with everybody, but put yourself out there and you'll find the group that you really click with. Being an athlete, there's going to be other adjustments to make. So for example, I was on the women's basketball team. We usually practice from about 7 to 9 a.m. every day, sometimes earlier. So I would just have to make sure that I went to bed at a decent time or took a nap during the day to make sure I was able to function. So you're going to have to work around practicing game schedules. In season for games, sometimes you might miss miss a couple classes depending on if you're traveling or if you have a home game. I had to miss a couple night classes for home games, and I also had to miss whole days of classes for away games when we would travel. So as I mentioned before, just make sure you're using your time wisely, make sure you're communicating with your professors what you need to get done when you're missing classes. So make sure you complete that ahead of time, or communicate with them that you can turn it in late. Once you start going with your classes, you'll kind of get a feel for how much time you need to spend outside of class for each. You'll figure out a schedule as you go on. As an exercise science major, you're going to learn a lot about what the name suggests, the science of physical activity and exercise. One of the classes you're going to take is exercise physiology, so this is going to be how physical activity affects the body. You're going to take biomechanics, which focuses on how forces affect the body and how people move. A clinical side, or a clinical class, is going to be what exercises help prevent or treat chronic conditions. The nutrition class is going to be an important one. It talks about what foods help or hurt the body. It's going to talk about what fuels the body and different foods that enhance physical performance. You're also going to learn how to create workouts for different individuals. You're going to learn how to lead different exercise classes, and you're also going to learn how to practice exercise procedures and evaluations for common tests, anything along those lines. There are two different routes you can take with an exercise science major at Seton Hill. So the clinical route, it's going to be a few extra classes, a little extra work. This is for anybody who wants to get into occupational therapy, physical therapy, cardiac rehab, exercise physiology, physician assistant, anything along those lines. The other route you can take is health and fitness. So this is going to be a little less work, not as many classes. This is for anybody who wants to get into being a fitness trainer, a strength and conditioning coach, a group exercise leader, anything along those lines. Coming into the major, you might not know exactly what route you want to take. I didn't. So I learned that the Intro to Exercise Science classes are going to help you a lot with this. You're going to explore all of the professions in the field, kind of get a feel for what you want to do. One of the assignments that really helped me was the career exploration assignments. You're going to have 2 of them. So you're going to pick 2 different professions in the field. You're going to contact 2 different professionals. You're going to go observe them, do an interview, and write up a PowerPoint and a paper about what you did. So this kind of gets you a feel of what you like and what you don't like. Everybody's going to present them, so then you're going to see a bunch of different things, and hopefully you find the one that sticks out to you. As I mentioned before, each class is going to build upon one another, so make sure you're treating them all as important, and make sure you're knowing and grasping the information, because what you learn as a freshman is going to be still used as you're a senior. What classes are most important to you might depend on your major. The ones that I felt were most important were anatomy, obviously, because the whole major is learning about the body and how it works, how it responds to exercise, so that's important to make sure you really understand. Another one that I found very helpful was emergency preparation. So this is going to teach you how to act and behave in certain emergency situations, which is always good to know no matter what you do. And another one that I found was very important and helpful was the senior exercise science class, where you actually get assigned a client. You start them off with your initial evaluations, and then you test them again at the end to see how much progress they made. So you're going to create workouts based on their goals. This is going to provide you a perfect opportunity to practice your communication and professional skills. You learn all about this through your time learning at Seton Hill, but putting it into action is different. So this is going to be a perfect opportunity for you to practice that. Lastly, the internship at the end of the curriculum is going to be awesome, actually getting you into a professional environment with coworkers and clients, and kind of pushing you towards what you want to get into in the future. Advising is going to be very important in the 4 years that you're at Seton Hill. You're going to have occasional meetings with your advisors each semester, or more if you need or want. They're going to kind of help push you in the right direction, to make sure you're scheduled for your right classes at the right time, to make sure you're getting everything you need to get done to graduate on time. You can also talk to these advisors about anything, different careers, future plans, how to go about grad school applications, maybe taking the GREs. Use these people to your advantage, because they're there to help you. To avoid stressing yourself out, I would suggest completing everything pretty early to give yourself time to make sure everything's in and make sure you're reviewing it. From my own experience, I was pretty stressed during this process because I didn't pick what I wanted to do until late, so that made me push off everything that I was doing, and I didn't give myself enough time to complete everything. You're going to have to look into schools, get information, financial information. You're going to have to take the GREs at least once, maybe multiple times. You're going to have to fill out applications. You're going to have to interview, etc. So you have a lot to do. Just make sure you give yourself enough time to do everything, and everything will be pretty smooth. Depending on the school you choose, you're going to have different start dates. You may start in the summer, you may start in the fall, you may start in January. So depending on that, each assignment is going to have different due dates, so just make sure you're keeping everything straight. The application also takes a good amount of time to review by the school that you choose, so make sure it's in early so you're giving yourself time to kind of relax after the whole process. Also make sure that you're using the student resources at Seton Hill to your advantage. There's going to be so many people on campus that are able and willing to help you through this process to maybe cut down on the stress that it's causing. The Financial Aid Center, the Career and Professional Development Center, the Writing Center, your advisors. Let these people help you. This might be a stressful situation in process, but let them be able to make it easier for you, because this should be a fun time pushing you towards your future. That is all I have today. Thank you guys for watching, and I just want to wish everyone good luck at Seton Hill. I hope you guys love it, and good luck with all of your future endeavors. Thank you.